you have not heard of these yet, get out from under the rock you're living in. They're silky. Well, it was anywhere from like, I don't know, -5 to probably hurting your -10 with the wind today. Out with good buddy Beulah.
Boys, we got them.
We did some jigging.
We got
some new areas. We got some pies. Oh, beautiful pies. We released a lot of big ones too. These are like quality 11 inchers.
Minnesota's finest.
Oh, beautiful fish. Oh. We didn't film much of this because this morning we just got absolutely shut out, caught a bunch of rough fish, made some adjustments. It was so freaking cold, warmed up for a little bit, stayed in the shack, hole hopped, bounced all around, and then found them. And then we caught them. Now let's cook them.
Yeah, the snow shovel's ready because it looks like they will be needed. The entire region will be under a winter storm warning in about an hour. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Yuki Washington.
And I'm Nicole Brewer. The snow has already forced dozens of school districts to cancel classes tomorrow.
Thanks, Archie. He loves ripping his bobcat. All right, back to shoveling the sidewalk. Coffee? All right, he's shutting her down. He's gonna have a cup of hot coffee. Meeting of the minds. We'll go in the garage. Meeting of the minds. You're probably wondering up to this point, how did Steph and I meet neighbor Archie and Karen? Is it because we're neighbors? Yes and no. If you've heard of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, so Karen, his wife, is a very talented, experienced cribbage player, and Archie, just on the other hand, is not. And so for Make-A-Wish Foundation, Archie wanted some cribbage lessons from Steph and I. So we've been giving him cribbage lessons for, I don't know, months now per se. And yeah, I think it's been going well.
How much ice you got out there? How much ice you? 5 inch. Okay. I see you're over the 50 yards out, but that's fine. Move to the south now. Towards that, on that point, there's more rock, more structure there.
All right, so least we can do for Archie and Karen for plowing the driveway is a little bit of shore lunch and some fresh perch and walleye. Sounds like a pretty good deal to me. I know. I have said it before, and I'll say it again. I am not a cook, I'm a fisherman, but today we will be cooking because there's like a polar vortex outside. So we'll get into the meat and potatoes of this soon, but basically we're frying some fish with a few different ingredients. I've never done this recipe before, so this is just a test. This is a little trial and error action, you know what I mean? This is a little, is it good or is it bad or is it ugly or is it amazing? Got it? Got it. Do you got it? Because if you got it, I got it. And if we got it, we got it. Right now, it's an extreme, severe winter storm outside. It's like a mini polar vortex. I think the average temp is like anywhere from -17 to -22, and that's before the wind chill. So if you're out driving around, at least around Christmas, be careful because it's been so cold. The roads are bad, and it's yeah, it's nasty outside. It's no weather for ice fishing. It's weather for enjoying fresh fish. So that's what we're gonna do. I've got the garage heater ripping. It's like 60 degrees in here right now. Usually at night I keep it like 45. And then I got this little propane heater running with some air vents open. So yeah, we are cozy to say the least. So that oil is starting to get hot. So like I said, I'm not really a cook by any means, but I love to eat, and I'll definitely judge some food. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I'm gonna do a little cooking and then judge this recipe. I've read about it for some time. It's basically just adding honey into your egg wash or into your oil, and it gives it kind of a sweet flavor. And I guess it makes sense, right? Like if you added honey to kind of your egg wash to kind of base around the fillet, and then the breading held it all in, it should work, right? Maybe? We're definitely gonna test out like 3 different methods of this honey deal that I've read online. But besides that, we're gonna talk about some interesting baits that have really kind of, I don't know, stepped up my game, especially when the fish have become extremely finicky. When they're dumb and they're chewing, we've been slamming them on the spoon, the pinhead minnow. The big one, the small one, the medium-sized one, doesn't matter. But when they get really finicky, we're having to slow down big time and use a couple key techniques and key baits per se. I guess I'll talk about that later. But anyways, I'll show you that in a minute after we're done cooking. But right now, the oil kind of looks good. All right, attempt number 1 is just gonna be original shore lunch. We're gonna do an egg bath and then mix the honey in the egg bath. And go. Since we're only doing a couple fillets here, I might just stick to 1 egg. So this one recipe I've been reading online, they basically say take your raw honey and add 2 teaspoons. Or as needed. All right, the oil is good and hot. Let's do fillet number 1. Egg / honey egg bath. It mixed up pretty well. I kind of thought it would separate out, but it did pretty good. Bingo. Do the hokey pokey, turn yourself around. That's what it's all about. Is that hot? Not too bad. Just some peanut oil. Bingo, let's dish it in. Looking good. Let's give another look at this egg wash over here. You can kind of see it. The honey mixed in pretty well. I really thought it was gonna separate, and I added in, you know, a generous amount. Give her the old flip. Oh. Now I know everybody has certain traditions, especially around Christmas time, but a tradition at least on the Sobiek side is we like to do a little fish fry in the garage Christmas Eve or Christmas Day sometime. Just fresh fish, a little fish fry, just kind of an appetizer before we actually eat dinner, open presents, do stuff like that. So I'm kind of like seeing if this is worth bringing to Christmas. It's got to be good to bring it to Christmas. Now, usually I would throw an awesome lemon slice on it, and I think you could, but I'm really trying to see if I can taste the honey in this. I'm going to give it a minute just to dry, and then I'll be the judge. All right, recipe number 1, bingo, done. Recipe or method number 2, they say reduce the oil, almost so it's kind of like you're just pan frying it, and with the fresh oil, you mix in 2 teaspoons of honey. So we'll do that. Not exactly sure if this is 2 teaspoons. But that works. No honey egg wash this time. Just right into the shore lunch. If your fillet is just mildly wet, that shore lunch sticks right to it. And then boom, let's dish it right in the pan. I will say when I put that honey in the oil, it's like, it's made the air smell just like honey. It smells really good actually. I've never put honey directly into oil like that. I've used honey in a lot of different recipes, just cooking at home and stuff, but never just hot oil, honey. Interesting. Beautiful. All right, while that cools down just for a second, I'll show you guys something cool. I had an awesome opportunity to do an interview with Star Tribune earlier this summer. They did kind of a follow-up article. And then local paper, the Montgomery Messenger, they did an awesome article kind of about my story and growing up, and it's really cool. Thank you so much, Star Tribune, and thank you so much, Montgomery Messenger. It's an awesome opportunity, and even though I work online and a lot of video content, print media has always been, I don't know, a soft spot in my heart. I grew up reading Bassmaster magazine. I grew up reading outdoor news. I grew up reading the outdoor section of the newspaper. So this is really cool. Thank you so much. Okay, it's time to try the little honey biscuits, and then we'll do recipe number 3. All right, I promise I won't sugarcoat it either. If these are horrible, I'll tell you. This is an experiment. Recipe number 1, this was the honey egg bath. Okay, that was good. Tasted really good. Fresh crappie and shore lunch is always good. But I didn't taste the honey that much. And maybe I didn't add enough to the egg bath. I don't know. We might go back and try a few more of these recipes. Uh-oh. I will say, recipe number 2, just peeling it off the paper towel, it has a little more of that honey consistency. This was the honey mixed with the oil. I could actually taste the honey in this one when you mix the honey with the oil. If I had to redo that again, I'd probably even go less oil, more honey in there, and as soon as I mix that in there and it's really hot, boom, I'd put the fillets down, almost just like that honey's gonna crystallize a sweet crust on the outside of it. Okay, now on to recipe or method number 3. Really mix it around. I almost want this to be just as much honey as it is egg wash. Play number 1 in the egg wash. And from there, right in the oven style. Oh, the oven style is so good. I like to push it into. It's nice and crispy and crunchy. It's so nice and light. The oven style breading mix is like a totally different consistency than the other stuff they have, and it's just so good. Alright, that was the honey egg wash. Put that on the pan to bake in. This next piece, I kind of want to try just honey as the wash. This is a thicker piece, but we're going for it. I just want to try just straight honey on here as the coating. For baking, heat oven to 400 degrees Fahrenheit, cut fillets into 4-inch pieces, pat dry, place breading and egg into separate shallow bowls, dip fish into egg, then coat breading, applying pressure, place breaded fish on lightly sprayed oil / shallow baking pan, bake uncovered until done, about 15 to 25 minutes, or until fish flakes easily with a fork. Beauty. Yeah, 15 minutes, 400. Cool. See you in a little bit. Now, do we just wait, or do we experiment? We got like 15 minutes. I want this to be quick. Quick, quick, quick. Honey's going in. It's ripping. Fish is going in right after it. Boom, right on top. Oh, sweet. I don't know. Experiments are fun. We'll see what happens. Like I said, I'm a fisherman, but I'm very good at eating, and today I'm cooking. So, I warned you. This could be bad. Let's check if it got any nicer outside. Oh, wow. It's ripping. It's absolutely ripping. Just an update from the outside world. It's still really freaking cold. Really cold. Okay, here we go. Our experiment while we wait for the baked fish. This was less oil, more honey, kind of a flash cook. Not bad. It kind of has a little bit more of that sweet crust on the outside. I don't know about you guys, but I love honey and I love the taste of it. So far, like my 3 experiments, they've been good and I can taste the honey a little bit, but it's not what I want it to be. I want to kind of like taste the honey. Like if you've ever had any Oriental honey chicken, I wonder if that's a better method. You fry your fish, you make kind of like that Oriental honey chicken sauce, and then you kind of just stir your fish in that. Maybe if you had little chunks of fish, just like they would do with the chicken. I don't know. Maybe the baked option is going to be totally different. Looks good. The thinner piece was the honey egg wash with the Shore Lunch oven style. That's so good. This one, we kind of dipped all around with honey and then put the batter on. It wasn't the egg wash, it was more of like a honey wash. Okay, that one I could taste the honey a little bit more, but still, it's not like, it's not a strong honey flavor. I don't know if just the breading takes out of it, if I need to just pan fry it or bake it without any breading at all to get more of that honey flavor, or like we said before, do more of a honey sauce and then you mix it to the outside of the fillet, the outside of the breading. I think that would work better. Did it have this crazy outstanding honey flavor to it? No. Was it good? Would I do it again? Yes. I'd change a few things and maybe experiment a little more. Is it good enough to bring to Christmas? No, not yet, but maybe soon. Okay, so like I promised before we go, I'll tell you one technique that's been really opening my eyes and putting a lot more fish on the ice for me. I feel like it's kind of a secret I've been doing past couple years, but it might work for you, it might not, but these things have been pretty deadly. So, especially for crappies or gills, when the fish are biting, you're on top of them. I love dropping down a pinhead or a small spoon or a half ant and getting aggressive, whether it be plastic meat, doesn't matter. If the fish are hungry and they're dumb, they're gonna eat. But recently, especially crappie fishing, I don't know if it's this super cold temps we've been getting, the fish have been moving slow, and it seems like on a few lakes I've been hitting, they've been extremely finicky. They've been picky. There's different baits they don't want. There's different plastics they won't touch. But there's one thing that's been consistent that I've just been smoking fish on. And it's either meat or a plastic tip behind a drop kick or a variety of other jigs, but with an all black silky or a chartreuse silky. If you have no idea what these things are, they're freaking incredible. I'll read the back of them for you. The silky is a universal, removable, and easily repositioned jig trailer. The secret silk material is all natural, not synthetic. This crazy thing, the silky, which I don't even think anyone knows exactly what they're made of, they fool fish. They absolutely fool fish. And like I showed you in the jar, it's like you can really cut these things down and manipulate them, but they're just a bunch of little strands. And with like no movement at all, that jig or the silky will just kind of fan out. And you don't have to move your jig at all to get wicked movement down there. And this thing alone, especially the color black and chartreuse for me, I don't know, for whatever reason, Those two colors of the silky alone have been triggering fish during this mega cold front. So try them. Literally try them. They cost like nothing, and I haven't lost like one yet. They've got a hard, like, I don't know how well you can see it. They got a hard, like, rubbery plastic ball in the middle, and you basically just wacky rig them. And then from there, like right on my bibs, I take my nail clippers and I'll just trim them down. And they're strong, like, really strong. Like I said, I've never really lost one unless I took it off. I push that all the way up to the top of the body. And if they're really finicky, I'll trim down the body a little bit. I'll take part of that silky. You can kind of see I've got it pushed up right to the neck of that bait. And I'm not afraid to trim absolutely half of it off, even sometimes 3/4 of it off, because these things spread out in the water and it's got a lot of body to it. Oh, and if you think these things are just for winter fishing, I don't know how well you could see that, but at the end of the day, especially when fish are getting really finicky, they're eating small bugs. Small bugs that are in the weeds, small bugs that are coming out of the mud. The silky just mimics the like little tentacles of these invertebrates that come out of the mud so well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching this video all the way to the end. I hope each and every one of you have a phenomenal Christmas. Please write down in the comments section some of your fish recipes. Write down suggestions. What do you think I should do to give it more of a honey flavor? And also try the silky. Stay safe, stay warm, catch some fish, have a phenomenal Christmas, and as always, let the adventure begin. See you.
Move ahead, oh my pretty babe. Something ain't right. Got to find a way to move ahead.